The Crithian Empire had ruled the galactic arm for 60 millennia, their dominion unchallenged since the day they turned humanity's homeworld into a smoking cinder. Earth was nothing now but a cautionary tale, a dead rock orbiting a yellow star, a monument to what happened when lesser species defied the Crithian will. Admiral Deborah Chen stood on the bridge of the Vindication, her fingers drumming against the tactical console as the fleet emerged from slipspace. Behind her vessel stretched 3,000 warships, each one a masterpiece of engineering that would have seemed like magic to her ancient ancestors. But they weren't magic. They were revenge, forged in the cold darkness between stars over 600 generations. "Ma'am, we're detecting Crithian defense platforms," reported Lieutenant Alexander Kane. His voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were about to do. 72 orbital stations, each armed with plasma batteries. They're powering up weapons. Deborah allowed herself a cold smile. Let them. The Crithians hadn't expected humanity to survive. Why would they? They'd glassed every human colony, destroyed every station, pursued the refugee ships into the void. But they'd made one critical mistake. They hadn't found them all. 3 colony ships, damaged and desperate, had disappeared into an uncharted nebula. 3 ships carrying 15,000 souls who refused to die. Those souls had children. Those children had children. And they remembered. "Incoming transmission from the Crithian command station," Alexander announced. "They're demanding our identification and purpose." "Open a channel," Deborah commanded. She straightened her uniform, adorned with the symbol of the Terran remnant fleet, a phoenix rising from ashes. "Let me introduce ourselves properly." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a Crithian commander, his chitinous faceplates gleaming under harsh station lighting. His multiple eyes widened in what might have been recognition or disbelief. "I am Admiral Deborah Chen of the Human Stellar Navy," she said, her voice carrying across the void. 60,000 years ago, your empire murdered 15 billion of my people. You thought you'd exterminated us. You were wrong." The Crithian's translator rendered his response with mechanical precision. "Impossible. The humans are extinct. This is some trick." "Fire," Deborah said simply. The Vindication unleashed a barrage of antimatter torpedoes, each one carrying enough destructive power to atomize a small moon. The other ships followed suit, centuries of suppressed rage, of wandering through the dark, of building and planning and preparing, it all concentrated into that single, devastating moment. The Crithian defense platforms had been state-of-the-art 60 millennia ago. Against human weapons evolved through endless generations of warfare and innovation, they lasted 14 seconds. Alexander monitored the tactical display as humanity's fleet swept through the system like an avenging storm. "Crithian reinforcements arriving from the inner colonies. Estimates suggest 200 cruisers and support vessels." "Deploy the Widowmakers," Deborah ordered. From the fleet's carrier ships emerged swarms of autonomous fighters, millions of them, each one piloted by an AI that had learned warfare from humanity's bloodiest lessons. The Crithians had numbers. Humanity had 600 generations of refined tactics, of studied vengeance, of cold calculation. The battle lasted 3 hours. When it ended, the Crithian fleet was debris, but Deborah felt no satisfaction, only the hollowness that came with the first payment on an unpayable debt. She looked at the tactical map, at the 600 star systems marked in red, every Crithian world, every station, every outpost that would burn before humanity's fury was spent. "Alexander, send word to the other fleet groups," she said quietly. "Operation Remembrance is approved. All targets are weapons-free." The young officer hesitated for just a moment. "Ma'am, if we do this, we become what they were. Genocidal monsters." Deborah turned to face him, and in her eyes he saw the weight of 60,000 years. "We became monsters the day they forced us to." We became what we needed to become to survive, and now we'll become what we need to become to ensure no one ever does this to another species again. The Crithian government is requesting negotiations, another officer reported. They're offering reparations, territory, anything we want. Tell them we want what they took from us, Deborah replied. Tell them we want Earth back. Tell them we want those 60,000 years returned. Tell them we want our 15 billion dead resurrected. And when they admit they can't give us any of that, tell them we'll settle for their complete and unconditional surrender. The Vindication moved deeper into Crithian space, the fleet following like a pack of hungry wolves. On distant worlds, human forces landed with precision and overwhelming power. Crithian armies that had conquered 100 species found themselves outmatched by soldiers who had trained for this single purpose across countless generations. Within weeks, the Crithian Empire began to crumble. Within months, it ceased to exist. Alexander found Deborah in the observation deck months later, staring at the blue-green world rotating below them. The terraforming teams had worked miracles. Earth was alive again, ready to receive humanity's children after their long exile. "We did it," he said softly. "We won." Deborah nodded slowly. "We survived." "That's what humans do, Alexander. We survive, we adapt, we remember. And we never, ever forgive those who try to exterminate us." She turned to him with tired eyes. "Make sure that lesson is recorded for the galaxy. Make sure every species knows what happens when you push humanity to the edge." "Yes, ma'am," Alexander replied. "Should we prepare for colonization?" Deborah looked back at Earth, at the homeworld 60,000 years lost and now reclaimed. "Yes. Send the signal. Tell them it's time to come home." Across the fleet, across the scattered human settlements built in the cold dark, the message went out. Earth remembers, Earth returns, Earth endures, and humanity, tempered in the forge of extinction, returned to claim their birthright among the stars.